Every time I hear that intro, it sends chills down my spine. Hello everybody, my name is Blackblade and welcome back to my channel. And for today, we are going to check out my very ancient and very old build in Diablo 2, which is the Strafe Build. Now, the Strafe Build is originally an Amazon build. So yeah, so here we go. Let's check it out. Hold on, let's just go outside so that we could properly properly showcase the build. Alright, so okay, first we're going to go in the skill tree, and the skill tree is, hold on, I don't really remember it this much, so it's T. Alright, so okay, so here's the strafe skill. Now what this does is it fires a volley of arrows while you're standing still. So what that means is you're kind of like on a lock mode. Hold on, let's just get some enemies. So as you can see, while the skill is firing, you cannot actually move. Hold on, let's just look for some enemies here. Right, here we go. So that's kind of like how the skill works, and so yeah, the only way to use this is, of course, you need to have a bow and arrow, either a bow or a what do you call this, or a ballista, as the name implies. Alright, so the next skill that comes with the build is the freezing arrow. So this is actually a combination. The first part is to the first part is to freeze the enemies, and then you know, hit them with the strafe skill. So those are the only two combinations of the skill or of the builds, the strafe and the freezing arrow. And the next would be the passive. Most of the points I placed on the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie is one of the most powerful, one of the most powerful summons in the game. She's second only to the Shadow Master, and she's about third when it comes to the golems of the Necromancer. So she is pretty tanky. Now with the rest of the skill points, I maxed out the critical strike. This is, of course, to double our damage. The next is the penetrate. This will be good because since we are firing a volley of arrows, it will be good for the arrows to, you know, pass one monster and then hit the next. And then for the last skill, we have Pierce. Now, I'm not exactly sure why I put 3 points over here, because in this game, some skills actually have diminishing returns. Some skills are only worth like 1 point. If you put more points on them, they will kind of like have some diminishing returns. So I'm not exactly sure why I placed 3 points here, but this should only be 2 points, and I didn't put anything on the javelin. This is a whole new other build in the game. So that's about it. So we have 1 point at dodge, 1 point at avoid, and 1 point at evade. These are what you call 1 point wonders. Like what I said before, these are the type of skills that only need 1 point in order to become effective. When you put more points on them, you'll just be, you know, wasting your points. So that's about it. Another build that some Amazon go for are the fire build, a combination of fire and you know, ice build, but I didn't really go for that because it's actually quite it's actually quite difficult to manage that sort of build. All right, so let's get into my items. Now, as you can see here, these are what you call charms. In Diablo 2, you have some of these items. What these does is they actually grant you, you know, a free bonus. Some of them add some lightning damage or fire or cold damage. Some add attack rating or adds an additional maximum to your maximum damage. Some add primary stats like dexterity. Some add resistances and an additional run walk speed. So these are really very helpful when it comes to building your character and to generally building up your character's overall damage. Now, one of my so this is my pride and joy. You have no idea how long I farmed for this item. I still remember that this item was dropped by DiablO himself, and I farmed him for and I've killed him for about 60 to 70 or 80 times, and that's just a minimum. I believe that it's more than that. So when I finally got this, I was super happy because this is one of the most rarest bows in the game, and it's one of the most powerful because it has one of the highest what do you call this, damage or base damage. As you can see, the base damage is 85 to 357. You have a very fast attack speed mod there, an additional increased attack speed. It has a piercing attack. So at first I wasn't actually expecting to get this one. That's why I went with I went to get Pierce. But when I got it, these are 3 more points that could be allocated somewhere else. So anyway, aside from that one, it has enhanced damage. It has a lot of maximum damage based on character level. So you have those type of attributes when it comes to Diablo 2. It has a lot of cold damage, and it has a freezes target +3, and it has a +35 to dexterity, which overall increases your total damage because Amazons are dexterity based. So yeah, additional dexterity from your gear will help into dishing out or increasing your overall DPS. Now, as you can see there, originally the weapon doesn't have a knockback. That's why when I socketed it, I added a Nef rune. If you can see that little gray thing over there, that is actually a rune, and there's a lot of that in the game. And they all have all of these different effects, and of course you have and of course in this game you have what we call as rune items. Those are items wherein no, not rune items, rune words. Those are special items wherein you form certain rune combinations in order to form a unique weapon, unique helm, or unique armor. It's very, very powerful, and it's very, very in-depth, so I won't be discussing much of that in this video. But anyway, the Nef rune adds some knockback. So as you can see, the combination is really good. While we're strafing, we are adding some knockback so that the enemies don't come close to us. So when it comes to helm, I chose the Dark Sight helm. This is a unique helm because it has a 6% chance to cast a level 3 dim vision when we get struck, and the level 5 Cloak of Shadows. We have 30 charges over there. Those are going to help us into into the overall survivability of the character. 5% mana stolen per hit, 170 defense, and the cannot be frozen mod, which is a very, very important or a very, very crucial attribute when it comes to searching or building your building your character here in Diablo 2. For my amulet, I chose the Sarah Sense or Sarah Ken's Chance, a 10% chance to cast a level 2 Iron Maiden when struck, and of course plus 12 to all attributes, and plus 22 to our all resist. For my ring, I probably chose this one because of the resistances. It's just a normal rare ring. And for my belt, everybody's favorite belt in Diablo 2, or at least my favorite belt in Diablo 2, the Thunder God's Figure. It provides a lot of damage, a lot of additional strength and vitality. It adds a huge amount of maximum lightning resistance, and it absorbs 20. I'm not exactly sure if that's 20% or that's a solid 20%. When it comes to the lightning damage, but it has a lightning absorbed mod there. It's pretty good. For my last ring, I'm using the Carrion Wind. 10% chance to cast level 10 Poison Nova when struck. 8% chance to cast level 13 Twister on striking. 8% life stolen per hit. Some defense, poison resist, 10% damage taken goes to mana, which is really helpful when it comes to survivability. The Poison Creeper is kind of meh. I don't really use that. For my chest piece, I'm using the Duriel Shell. This is also one of my favorite unique chest piece in the game, simply because it adds a lot of resistances: cold, lightning, fire, and poison. You have the cannot be frozen mod there, a lot of defense, and it has that mod where it adds a huge life, depending on your character level. So it's a really particularly good armor for this build. And for my gloves, I'm using the Bramble Mitts, the Laying of Hands. It's a set item. The reason I would The reason that I'm using this is because of the fact that it has a 350% damage modifier to demons. And in Diablo 2, I believe that it's either 80 or 90% of the monsters here are basically demons. So you'll get the 350% damage to demons a lot. And of course, the fire resist plus 50%. For my boost, I'm using the Tear Hunch Greaves. Probably because of the faster run walk. I'm not exactly sure. This is like the last time I played this game was like 2004 or 2003. So I'm not exactly sure why I chose the items. Yeah, so probably because of the faster run and walk, some defense and all resist, and of course I also have a secondary bow. This one is my very first unique bow. It's the Lycander's Aim. It's a pretty fast bow, although the base damage is not that good. As you can see, the base damage is only at 81 to 172. Compare that to the Buriza at 87 and 357. This one really owns the game, or at least for a Bowazon. Alright, so let's go to our stats. I only have 162 to my strength, just for strength requirements. The rest of the points, when you're doing a Bowazon, you should put almost everything on the dexterity, because that will improve your damage, your overall total damage, and your overall attack rating. Now in here, attack rating really plays a huge part, because if you don't have at least 75% attack rating, you will barely hit the monster. So yeah, putting everything in dexterity is actually pretty good. And as you can see, I only have a very low vitality, but that's okay. The build actually revolves around only putting 50 points into vitality, and the rest is into dexterity, or at least that's what the guide back in 2004 said. Alright, so I guess that's about it when it comes to gear and stats. Let's get into some juicy gameplay. I did a little bit of oops, okay, so we have some elite packs over here, which are dead apparently. So I did play this a little bit a while ago, just to get some feel into it, and to just practice what I'm supposed to say. Alright, so we've got some good packs over here, and they're all dead. Why are they all dying? This is actually hell, and yeah, so apparently we are doing a really good amount of damage, as you can see. Alright, so I should have. I think I should have picked a higher, higher difficulty, or higher level map. Alright, that's good, because as you can see, the mod of, oh my god, he's being knocked back so much. Hold on. The mod of the enemy is he's immune to physical and he's immune to cold. So basically, you're not doing any damage when it comes to your physical attacks, and you're not doing any damage when it comes to your cold attacks. So as you can see, I'm basically fucked. But I still have a little bit of lightning damage and a little bit of fire damage, I believe, and some poison damage. So yeah, it's just going to take a very long time to kill this type of monster, and I am running out of bolts. Oh my god, I don't think I'll be able to kill this monster. Oh no, let's just forget that. Let's look for something else. Alright, so let's switch the weapon to the Lycanders and see how that works. That actually fires a little bit faster because of the attack speed. As you can see, it's really fast. But the side effect of that speed is that the bow actually has a really low DPS. And I wasn't able to socket it, as you can see. I actually forgot how to socket the weapons here. But yeah, if I were to socket this unique bow, I'd probably put in some nef over there, so that while you're strafing, all the monsters will get knocked back, and not everybody would, or at least no monster would come near you. So that's basically how the build works, and I'm gonna tell you guys that Diablo 2 is still my offline game of choice. When I don't have net, or when I have a line disconnection or something like that. Not that I'm not paying the bills, I am paying the bills, but then sometimes, Philippines. Anyway, so let's get into some more monsters over there. Let's go switch to Buriza. I really like the Buriza. Yeah, man. See, this game is still awesome up to this day. Alright, so that's an elite pack right there. And I guess that's about it for this episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'm gonna see you guys on the next part of my video. Have a good one. Anyway, so the build has been doing great. I've been doing level 71 and 72 maps quite well. I haven't really done level 73 simply because of the fact that I ran out. So yeah, and I'm kinda